Mm. Welcome, everybody. I hope everyone's having fun today. This has been a beautiful. Well, give it a second. There we go. It's been a beautiful Saturday. I've been out and about. I've been living my life, and I'm going viral. I hope everyone takes the time out of their day to check out the link in my bio for Forever for the Culture, my new debut memoir, journalistic memoir, in fact, detailing the Black digital arts renaissance that we are currently in and its connections to revolution. Now, I really want to harp on its connection to revolution today because it is No King's Day. A lot of people are out protesting and declaring their rights and getting a lot of emotions out. And I'm not going to sit here and say some things aren't revolutionary. I'm not going to sit here and tell people that they shouldn't be participating in something because of my own jadedness. This is about politics, about how people activate, about how people choose to come together. But I hope you guys consider thinking about other means and other ways that people have been revolutionary in the past. And one way you can do that is by supporting my book. Yes, I'm going to shamelessly plug my book during this. And I hope you understand. My book, I'm posting out to everything. My book is about Black digital art and its connection to revolution. This current. Okay. There's actually pretty good music on this game. It's like all copy. I was spending all day, most of today actually, like working on my book. I went to the gathering spot today and I had a blast. I'm not gonna lie. I liked it. I liked the gathering spot a lot. I bring my book up also because there's a whole section in it about me at the George Floyd protest and like my disillusionment. Like it, And make sure I post this everywhere. I need some other apps to catch up the fact that like people don't want to be on Twitter. Uh, so I'm finally on my work talk at work. Keep updating. Give me 1 second. I was about to post something in relation to my writing on Instagram. I gotta check if there's a social media policy at the gathering spot because because I feel like it's one of those places that go like, oh, we are a no social media policy location. You need to take that down. Like I am not giving them the money back. I won't. Trying to pick up my Margellas too today, and it just wasn't going. Mm, 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 mm. in a gathering spot. Mm, 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 mm. I would thought I'd be really on that. Huh, actually, let me get my bag. Insane. Nisha. Wait, air strengthens the attack. Let's go. Someone said I look like Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin. I don't know. Maybe he might be related to my dad. Papa's a Rolling Stone of a Rolling Stone. So, sorry about that. I just saw the Oracle of Delphi, who's a person in my mentions right now, discussing like a lot of the topics that I put into that video that is currently going viral a little bit. Um, I have no patience for when people weaponize their privilege. Like it's their inherent desire to feel coddled in most conversations. And if they're not being actively, I'm sorry, if they're not being actively coddled in circumstance, like their feelings are not being attested to, licked, the wounds not being cleansed at all times. They say things like, "Oh, you're not engaging me in good faith," or "You are like being aggressive and mean, and I'm sensing animosity here, and I'm just trying to tell you this one thing, and like you're just not being." Like it's a level of weakness and patheticness that is involved with that, because the expectation is that, oh, I kiss your wounds and go, oh well, maybe it's my tone, I should be nicer to you. No. If you sensed animosity in my tone at any point in this conversation, you put it there. And you need to talk to someone who isn't me about it. I do not care. I will not be coddling you. I will not be licking your wounds. I will not make you feel more welcome in the conversation than you clearly already don't feel. If you want to feel welcome in the conversation, you would walk into the conversation feeling welcome. It's not my responsibility or desire to make you feel safe here. Thank you. Happy No King's Day. Happy No King's Day. And I mean that with so much love. And by love, I mean general love for humankind. It's insane. That was insane. Let's watch some Pokemon around. Switch. Maybe I should go back and get my fighting type. Cubchoo, which is one of the most cleverly named Pokemon ever. Y'all want to make a TikTok with me real quick? Hi, I'm Steven Underwood. I'm currently live. So, I'm Steven Underwood. I'm currently live. So, hi, I'm Steven Underwood. I'm currently live right now. As you can see, we are live. I need for people to first and foremost realize again, because I said this in another video, I'm discussing blackness. I'm discussing how blackness participates in it. I'm discussing a specific aesthetic of blackness. Specifically, you should have heard it when I said durag, armored durag, the Tims, the boots, like the elements of the Black Knight. You know, so yeah, you are right. This has been happening for decades. Because the Black Knight came out in the 2000s, like early 2000s, right? I am talking about that. If you are not going to clarify how blackness is participating in this, and you're just here to talk about how awesome whiteness is and LARPing and Ren fairs and festivals like that, you can do without posting. And I hope you don't hear any animosity in my voice. This is with so much love. Thank you. I'm so hungry right now. I'm so hungry. I could eat at Arby's. Uh, Ice types are cool. I just never feel like I need to have one. Okay, so yeah, I can't move on 'cause I'm trying to hatch this freaking egg. I deeply have a respect for like Renaissance fairs, right? And I deeply love the culture of LARPing and everything like that. But I do feel that within these fantasy sub niches and subcultures, there's a possessiveness to what's going on and what they're doing, and there's a reimagining of sorts of like how certain aesthetics are included, how they've been included periodically, what they perform as, and exactly I think it's also like an unwillingness to admit that like there was a buffer between who and how people showed up, because like as much as y'all want to say that this is an inclusive space, fantasy historically has never been inclusive. um there's a way you show up and participate. There's a conversation that many Black LARPers have talked about, like with their aesthetic, like being contrary to the fantasy. A lot of them have stood up and talked about this, right? A lot of LARPers have stood up and said, like, yeah, people will give you a bad time for not participating. Even cosplayers, a lot of cosplayers standing up and going, like, oh yeah, in cosplay, we call it this, and that's all this is. It's just cosplay. So I'm like, hmm. Don't get me started on how cosplay's been treated. I don't know. I'm working on a book about this. I am actually about like nerd culture, the niches, and like how blackness has participated in it. Yeah, I won't be able to get to a Pokemon Center fast enough to resolve this ongoing issue. By issue, I mean I think I stacked my team wrong for this area. So that was a rare, yeah, right. Since Papagayo. I'm not paying $2,000 for a repel. Oh my God. $2,000 for a repel is like crack money. Rockin' Rough. I think I'm gonna go with Zenitsu. As you guys all know, when we catch a new Pokemon, in honor of Forever for the Culture, they have to be named after a black influencer or content creator, except for Jinx, because I did not feel comfortable naming a female Jinx after any black content creator. You all know why. I'm gonna call her ASMR the Chew. We'll be exploring. She was a gym today. Ooh. Hey Zoe. Nothing much. We played for a few days. Currently going viral. I know you saw that video. It's that video is going. I think the annoying crowd is starting to like fall in. Annoying crowd, like fantasy people are very particular about what they think they own. What they think they own, what they think they originated, and what they think you mean. These are things that they are heavily misconstrued on. I'll catch a seal. It's just very frustrating sometimes. I wanted to post the essay I wrote for Tor way back when, but I didn't feel like it would lend much to the conversation. Yo, man. That's why I hate these couple battles. I wanted to catch that. I knew it was gonna happen, and unfortunately, I know that like if I want the post to do well, I can't I can't deactivate the comments or I can't delete comments. I just gotta let some of the stuff rock or like clap back. That's what the app wants me to do. So I'm just like I was just letting it slide. But then what really got me weird was that one of the posters was like, "Oh, I was engaging in good faith. I can see that it wasn't intention. It wasn't given back to me in return." And I know too much about white privilege for me to be able to let any of that slide. Because I'm like, you are doing a thing here, and I know you know you're doing it. We both know you're doing it. Yeah, exactly. That is correct. If you do not properly, if you do not pre-order Forever for the Culture, Notes from the New Black Digital Arts Renaissance, your wigs will always lift. That is a immutable fact. Maybe we're not good faith. Yeah, because it's a trigger word. It's like them finding a way to call you aggressive and antagonistic and a bunch of different microaggressions without them calling you it, right? So like they say it and like they're intentionally like implying you're being difficult. But anywho, I know what I meant. The people who know my book and know my words know what I meant. Diddley Ever After. Make sure you order that too, because I hear that your hairline will recede if you don't pre-order Diddley Ever After, especially right now. Like it was just payday. You need to order it right now. His hairline went way back. His hairline went way back, like nostalgia. If I don't catch this, it's getting killed this turn. Its roots for food by rubbing its snout against the ground, saying, Same, to be honest. Later, Brittany. Later, Brittany. I gotta tell you how the gathering spot. I went to the gathering spot to write today. I got my subscription. I joined the gathering spot LA. And just let you know how that went. Uh, Actually, in honor of the creator of Uptown Armor, we are going to name this one up after the originator of Uptown Armor, especially as a presentation of drip and of urban fashion, right? Black urban fashion. Not just wearing modern clothes with armor. Black urban fashion, a aesthetic and a fashion choice that has been politicized and demonized by so many different institutions. We are going to give honors to Rainey as Rainey Orell. Yeah, and that's a big part of it too. Like being able to incorporate the chrome, like all of it manifests in small ways. But like I think especially what I liked about Rainey is his like overt dedication to it being about fantasy and being about medieval cosplay, but blurring it with black culture. Right. And I'm like, that is like the big piece of it. That is like the awe-inspiring piece of it. Because I just got back from DreamCon, right? And I'm like, I've seen people do aspects of this of like it's different to do see anime and like different blurred topics and niche fandom stuff as its own raw stuff, right? But it's one thing to see it flipped into a black perspective like that. Really jumping. They jumping out here. I just went silent for a second. I have to read something. Uh, Stop hitting it. We're leaving. So I don't want this chance route. Yeah, there is a lot going on right now. Um, I was driving around today. There's a lot of No Kings protests going down. A lot of protests going down today. Yeah, I heard they're kind of strange though in terms of collabs and respectability. The No Kings protests. Are they an organization? I didn't. I thought it was just a thing that everyone was calling it because they didn't want no kings. Uh, accusing Trump basically of being a king. Oh, they're an organization. All right. I mean, it feels very liberal, and that's like my energy with it. Like I was talking to a friend, I was like, I don't want to feel jaded and like I know anything or like I know more than people who are activating because it should theoretically always be good that people are activating in some way politically outside of just voting. However, it does feel a lot of it was gets a little of performative, and it gets performative in that way that liberal like activism is, right? It's overemphasis on nonviolence. It's an overemphasis in a trust in the state and like a trust in law enforcement and like that your rights and the idea that doing this is a part of our constitutional rights, bro. Like it's an inherent trust within the system that this is more effective than any other measures. It's still a belief in the system that is meant to be distrusted at all corners. We're not really involved in like, some of them science. Yeah, it's the sign art, right? And there's levels of performance art. As an artist, I will never knock performance art as a means to convey energy. But there's performance art that is overt and unable to be ignored. And then there is art that is just being performed. And it's not really upsetting and it's not really distracting. Like like nonviolent protest is being a distraction. And so much of what I'm seeing is not capable of being a distraction, if you know what I mean. I do think a lot of people got to vent. I do think it is a form of protest. And that's the problem is that you would be at brunch. They're telling the truth. They would be at brunch if Kamala Harris was selected. That's the horror of what went down. Is that people did not actually acknowledge or are unwilling to acknowledge the very open and clear issues that was with that president. It's not like anyone is saying that she would have been much, much worse or equally worse. But it's like if my house is flooding, I'ma still think that a forest fire is bad, right? If my house is flooding, I still want to say that at least it's not on fire, but I would also much like not prefer my house be flooding, right? Like it's oh, they are jacking me up. But yeah, maybe our time would be better spent forming community with book club and skill sharing. Yeah, and that type of activation is extremely valid. I think I really want to see more activation like that. I think there's lots of possibilities for activation like that. I think people are overtaxed in terms of time, and that's the intentional part of the system, right? Like, no one. I'm watching like mothers basically have to borderline abandon their kid to be able to provide for them at three different jobs. Um, and with that, they don't have the time to sit down and do anything. If this programs are going to exist, it will be for children. It'll be after school programs, right? We have to go back to that model because we need programming that focuses on the ease and access because people don't have time anymore. Like we're dialing back the amount of free time people have exponentially. We're getting back to factory conditions. We're getting really far back to like factory conditions. Get there with my friends, but they're so focused on doing things now and don't have. Yeah, it takes a lot of forethought. I would want to see in after school programming. I would want to see like the recreation at third spaces. I think we might not see that though until people are able to adequately adequately like provide spacing. Like it will require people to give up real estate that they are hanging on to as a nest egg. Landlords will have to give up property and go, I want to dedicate this to being non-profitable entirely, right? I would like to give up this opportunity for money making in order to provide something to my community that they need. Because right now, after school programs are impossible because so many institutions are being strong armed away from doing anything that might piss off the current administration. I got it. How would I like to nickname the seal? I have a Victor Pope. I have a Meet on Mars. Um, I'm naming him Dez. I'm surprised if we ever get a chance to see it. Seeing Kamala Harris would have been better. Is insane work though. I think we would have had a lot of people feeling very comfortable. I think that we would have seen a lot of aggressive tactics being taken to formalize a lot of different measures. I don't want to undercut it too much. I feel like that was done, like a lot of work that was going into the presidency and the campaign because of but yeah, I do believe that both parties fully believe. I shouldn't have did that. I think both parties fully believe in their own inherent goodness and don't see a lot of the flaws in their ideology. And that's not like on a like, oh, both sides are equally as evil. Then I think that's on a critical. All is fair. Like you guys don't see how right wing you've become staring at the liberals, and you don't realize how psychotic your audience has become to the right. Yeah. I don't know if anyone saw the Shade Room posted a happy birthday post to Donald Trump. Oh, about time. A Maractus? Yes. I don't want to name her Tippy Starchild because I have Pokemon I intend for Tippy. Uh, this is a herbalist who's going here. He's from Columbus, Ohio. Forget her name. She looks at like wild berries. Where is she? I think she's on YouTube too. Like she did. Oh yeah, it's Alexis Nicole. He's Black Forager. Let's go. So you feel hurt in the band. They won't say that. I told someone to say he found every way to call me out my name, but did not realize he was. I argue with smart people, people who want to maintain the air of smartness, because they will say everything except for how they actually feel. They'll say everything but how they actually feel, and they'll weaponize that, like your response to them being like as proportionate. Go, oh well, it never called for any of this. It never gave antagonistic. I love us. I just want to get to the best possible conclusion here. No, they don't. They wanted to fight, but they don't. They know that they can't. They don't have a strong ground to fight on, and so they're trying to rile you up passively. It's very passive aggressive. So I think it brings up the issue with black nationalism. Shit, these people think we're xenophobic, more xenophobic than we actually are amongst things. Yeah, I felt weird about like a lot of people arguing that like this is not a fight and like it's not about us and we'll teach them a lesson. But I'm like, I don't think you guys realize that like we don't have a lesson to teach. Like we actually do need them. Every argument you guys make is like that we need them, how much they need to show up for us, and that our support shouldn't be conditional. And I'm like, yo, girl, you're saying out loud that we need them, but you want to teach them a lesson. But I'm like, what lesson is there to teach if they're annihilated, right? If this entire population is gone, well, you want them to support us from outside the confines of this country where they can actually impact anything? Got you. Master wannabes. This is exactly who they want to be. I have not. I read Water for Elephants, but I have not read Sky for Elephants. What should I have for dinner? I do need to go food shopping. I always need to go food shopping. Being online, me streaming while I'm not going viral is probably one of the most stressful things ever because you guys get to see like how exasperated I get with some of these comments I be getting. Like it, I just be fed up. I just be like, what would y'all do if I just delete the video? But I just lectured one of my friends about like using his tools, so I'm not allowed to just do that. You know, I have to keep it up and be out there and exposed and vulnerable. I was like, you know, take opportunity. You have so many opportunities. Just activate. I mean, getting views. You're getting views. Yeah, yeah, I am. I do. I've had mind to go like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm looking for an agent to represent this book because I had my current agent and me. We're part of ways on this book. We worked together for other stuff, but we came to the decision that maybe he's not the best to represent this particular story because he has so much on his plate, and like also I think he just doesn't get it. Which happens. It's the reason why you should always be open to new agents. You should always be open to new opportunities. Never get too comfortable because you know sometimes you have a story that's so out of left field. You go to your usual channels and like they're just not seeing it. They're gonna be like, oh, you know, I have people looking for stuff, but not this. And like I don't know about advocating for this because I don't know how to. I just don't believe in it as much as I do your other work. So you have to go to other people. And it's also really good that you get to be able to spread your toes a bit more. But yeah, it's getting views. Ooh. I want to work on that book right now, but I have to go off stream to do it because I can't work on it on here. What are white people right here? Interesting world. Me and my friends were discussing Afro-pessimism in a group chat. Um, and if you follow Afro-pessimist philosophy, then it means inherently you cannot create that world because all of our world building, all of our structures and mentality is rooted in conversation with whiteness. Therefore, there's no way to fully desegregate and to abolish the systems that we are under because when they are away, we will play with their tools. Grim, right? Pessimism is one grim mentality. The megachurch folks. Afro-pessimism is the philosophy and the political analysis of how ingrained white supremacy is inside of blackness as a thought, as a consciousness, and as a status of human being. It looks intrinsically and like very critically at the cause and effect of racism on the world around us, and it makes very critical observations about the beast and the culture that is maintained under white supremacy by that existence. Hey Jay, one of my friends who's also an activist, who's also activist in his undergrad, me and him were talking about like seeing a lot of people talk about Afro-pessimism online, and we were like, this is dangerous. Not in a way that like, oh, knowledge shouldn't be shared, we gotta keep this in low key, but like sharing Afro-pessimism text out there without warning people or like helping them navigate how to think about it can be dangerous. I've seen it get bad on Twitter. In those Twitter spaces, there's a group of people who started weaponizing Afro-pessimism to justify bullying in like a very negative headspace of overly critical analysis that they themselves didn't even understand like the limits of, right? They would, if you post about being in an interracial relationship, they would put you in a jumbotron and mock you for hours, sometimes days. They would have you as a talking piece for days. And just say demeaning, horrible things. If you go up there to confront them or to acknowledge the conversation, they would just heckle you further up there, and they would never actually say anything of substance other than like insulting you to your face. And if you were to agree with them entirely all the way through the conversation, they would not even understand. Okay, so at the end is that okay? So you should break up with your boyfriend. It's like the end of the conversation. So that's the last part of the conversation, that you should break up with your partner. And they don't realize how unreasonable of a request that kind of is. Like their idea of blackness did not make room for humanity. Period. How are you doing today, Jay? Are you doing anything fun? Are you doing anything fun? They're just not in it to be productive, right? And then some of it is like upsetting because some of them are really intelligent people, but I think they started using social media to justify arguments that they themselves would not be able to get away with online. I mean, in class. Like in class, you get counterpoints and you get like, hey, that's not a fair argument to make. Or like, what's the goal of this conversation? And your advisors and people in this academic headspace know how to critically analyze how unreasonable an argument is. Or like, they'll go like, okay, yeah, this is strong on paper in theory, but maybe let's talk about how to unpack this in a purely like literal sense, right? Because how can you hold human beings to a standard that you yourself cannot maintain? It's a new day for me. I'm good. Oh, new day for you. So that means yesterday wasn't so great. Was yesterday just plain awful? The people who was doing it were doing it for weird reasons. It's mostly about like desirability, but it would be people on a desirability index, right? Of like in the spectrum of desirability, arguing about how other people are misusing or like are representative of desirability politic. And it would get to a weird space every single time. Probably should be paying attention to what he's saying, but I'm like just rushing to get through this. But it would be like they would one person in particular, a former friend. I won't even say his name because I don't want to summon his energy into here, and I'm like, I don't want to have to deal with him and his YouTube videos. But they would always make commentary about him, and it got to a very weird space of like harassment. And like I would be attacked because they knew that I was cool with this person. They called me a bunch of slurs. There was a light skinned person, a biracial light skinned person called me a bunch of slurs. And I was like, this, you don't really realize, like, you're not going to have a conversation with yourself about this behavior and the things you're saying and how it's not okay. Like, they would pick and choose where the line was and they would justify it. They themselves would fall for like the annex of a desirability. They would scapegoat people that they found attractive or like that they have personal rapport for because they want to protect those relationships, but they would have no grace for anyone else who would do it. And it was the lack of grace that became a part of the ongoing issue with this group. And that's why it's so dangerous to just read about Afro pessimism without living your life in conversation with it because it becomes really easy for you to alienate the reality of how people work. And that's exactly what they were doing. It's not that humans are complicated and would do things that are counterproductive for the sake of like their emotional needs. People be human. People are going to do things that make no sense or like is not political or it's political but it's not worth justifying or digesting or like analyzing if you're going to do it with literally a moral implication to it. Yeah, it is. People getting to be bullies grown up. It's modern day bullying. I get to hold the whip now, so I'm going to hold the whip. This is a long maze, bro. You know how many rooms I've gone through so far? A lot. Oh, shiny. Oh, no, it's a girl. Uh, I'm only going until I get out of this freaking cave, or as close as possible. That's what I get for not paying attention. Mm. Yep, right direction. Hmm. All right, that's it for me today. Uh, y'all take care. God bless.